Hello, hi. So, to those who are trying to uh, think of applying a similar architecture to the one that I have used, I just want to show a few tips and tricks. And just to recapture, if you didn't watch the previous video. Yeah, brother. How are you?
Are you recording?
Yes, I am.
Are you posting this on something?
Yes, I'm posting it on YouTube. Audio. Not here. You're going to read?
10 more minutes.
Alright, I'll be back. Can I finish?
Okay.
Thank you. I'll film it now. So, how's my son, Rayhan? One of my boys. I have 3 kids. So, anyhow. So, to those who didn't see the previous video, so just to recap what I've said before. So I have several folders, and I've used for simplicity, and not only for simplicity, also to be able to control where where the folders have been on the screen when I'm working. Is I've used underscore and then a for example underscore abstracts, which all of the abstract classes are in it. Underscore assets, all of the assets are in there. Underscore components, all of the widgets that I create are in there. Underscore constants, all the constants are there, whether it's a generic constant or a model specific constant, or whether a string, styles, validators, related constants, or anything like values. As I said before, I just took this from Supernova. I forgot that. Yallah. And generic is something new. I was testing, like, to create a generic abstract class. I haven't used generics before. Probably this is something I'm gonna use at some stage, but I'm gonna keep it. Usually use generic classes when you don't want to repeat yourself, but I think it's always like whatever is easy and workable for you, you could use. So if there is a script, well, in my case, I've written a script, or I've written a program to create a program. So not much really worried about repeating myself. I'm not consuming extra resources by just doing this, as far as I know. So I'm fine with the way I'm doing it now, but probably in the future I would need to move into more of creating generics to use for any, like, create, read, update, and delete function. As in here, like, this is a simple CRUD kind of functionality, but which I can transfer later on into whether it's database, or at this moment I'm using shared preferences. So again, the models, all of the models here, I'm using specific names. So for authentication, of the models for authentication are here, or the model for authentication is in here. Enums, I consider enums kind of models, so that's why I do have the enums in here, because I've got like enum, which is status of register or login, whether it's register, email, verify. I always use enums when I want to not to make any typos in identifying certain things. So it's very powerful, enums. So again, here another model financial counselors, providers, which is the super awesome, crazy, amazing provider package. I love provider package. It's very easy. It's so easy to use. Like, yeah, it's very easy to use. Anyhow, I also use mixins. I love mixins. It's very handy. So like authentication strings mixin, which is a mixin, just another class defined as mixin, and I can just use it as if it is a part of the class itself. It could have like variables, values, methods, or it could even have methods. Yeah, that's it basically. So yeah, providers in here. Yeah. Providers, routing. So the routing table is in here, where do you route the user after a certain action. So we've got like cases or certain. I don't know how we're gonna unfold or be changing it. I'm not sure about that. The screens, all of my created generated screens are in here. I need to I need actually to update my GitHub. Let me just do that. I use GitHub like always, put everything. Yeah, while recording. So this is the message. So just did that, and then I would push the changes to GitHub. Oh no, yeah, it's pushing the changes now. So yeah, provider screens, and finally the services. So here the services goes into and each one goes into its own folder. So in each folder you will find like a folder. So the name of the parent folder. So here you'll find the name of the parent folder, underscore the type, which is this underscore services dot, which includes a library. That library is generated through the code generator app, code generator tool we've created. And this one will take LA, which stands for Life Arms, the application, underscore financial position underscore services, and export all of the files in here, so that all what I need to do is just to import this. But also at the same time, I do have another one on top, which is services.dot, this one, which exports the one that's inside. And all what I need to do in order to use any of these services is to import this. Now, if I want to be more specific, I can just say show and put the name of the class that I'm using, if I only want to import one of the classes. So yeah, it's flexible. It's I don't know. It's just the way you want to use it. Anyhow, so yeah, some tips and tricks is just I want to withdraw what I've said. Like I've said before, like in the previous video, that I didn't like the model generator. However, I found out that I'm not using it right. First, I'm not using it as the model generator the right way, and then and on the other hand, also I've thought a bit differently about it, and then I've started doing. This is one of the tips I'm gonna give in here, doing the generation of the files in a different way. So the model generator, all what I had to do on the model generator actually when using it is to set private to false, so that it doesn't create the private folder, the private underscore private variables, and therefore we don't get all of this what we used to get in here, like 200, 300 in relates to why you're using getters and setters, when you can use directly the variable name itself, and it's okay to do so. So yeah, I forgot that I had my coffee on the coffee machine. So, but then brought. So anyhow, yep. No, where are we? So yeah. So as I said before, I do have this. I've created this create files dot app. So create files dot app will start by taking a YAML file, and this is the YAML file. This is how it looks like, and the YAML file defines the main class, and then defines an array, which is a meta array that includes different variables, like the value that defines what's that screen is about, the application that's in it, and which folder it needs to put the files in. And yeah, it defines like several things in here. If you go back to the previous video, you'll be able to read a little bit or find more about the structure of this file. So this is another YAML file which also generates a set of files that are ready to be used. So what I did extra was, so this takes the YAML file and then saves JSON in here. Like again, my children was doing some kid stuff. So the first thing is we get the YAML file transferred to JSON. But what I did extra, and this is the tip, is that I've prepared a different JSON to use, a JSON file to use for pairing the model than that to use for creating the other files and pen. So I've used that JSON file and removed removed the nodes and whatever I want from it. So I removed the meta, I removed everything that ends with structure, and then I've used that JSON file, the data file here, to generate the class. Yeah, so that's how it did really work. So, and the other trick is that when I created the instance of the generator, I passed false, so that it does not create private variables. Okay. So I passed it through as well. So yeah, and that's it really. That's it. That made it very easy to generate the minimum needed model file. So this is the model. Let's go into the model. And financial position and personal details model. Come on. Oh, where I started. Yeah, it stops there. So yeah. So this is the models. It's very simple, very easy. Just from JSON to JSON, and that's it. That's it, really. That's it. And that's that exactly I wanted. One more thing also I want to mention is that when I created the YAML files, what I did in order not to have any conflicts is that I have changed the I've changed here like so UID, so it became like UI, it became the name of the class in lowercase with the UUID, so that it doesn't really have any issue with other UUIDs that exist somewhere else. I don't know, I thought that would be easier. Yeah, okay, that's it. Maybe next time I need to go through the services or go through the provider. I don't know. What do you think? Should I do services or should I do provider? Provider is very easy, actually. Just give me your opinion. Thank you.